church. Today is April 29th. It's midweek. And I am here, in the beautiful heart of our city, down at the Capitol, where I'm trying to incite my allergies and trying to awaken all of my congestion. And I'm going to do a great job of it. Why am I here? Well, I wanted to get outside, and yes, we're down here to do a little shooting for next week. It's the National Day of Prayer, May 7th. And what we're going to do is on that day, we're going to lead you, our staff, all over the city. We're going to do a prayer walk all over the city, and we're going to be praying in various places, the Capitol and the hospital and first responder of our police department, schools. So I look forward to seeing you on that day. Just like our normal services, you're going to get online. You're going to find it on YouTube. Go to our website, and you're going to see the click. And you're going to have an opportunity to pray with us as we lead you on a journey of prayer for our leaders, for our business leaders, for our families and our schools. So I hope you join us on that National Day of Prayer. It's going to be a great time together. Hey, did you know on this day, April 29th, 2015, there's a Major League Baseball record. It's an attendance record. It's in Baltimore. Look it up. The record is for the least attended game. Now you think, why do I care about the least attended game? Well, on that day, there's a Major League record. The least attended baseball game ever. Do you know how many people showed up to that game? It's amazing. 0. Yep, they played the entire game in front of no one. Why? Well, there was a protest in Baltimore, and so they closed the stadium, played the game. And you can imagine, on that day, probably baseball fans thought, it could never get worse than this. Baseball in front of no fans. Well, the pessimists were right. It did get worse. We don't have any games. See, the pessimists always look at life and say, it could always get worse. And if you're a pessimist, there's always a way to find it can get worse. Because sometimes it does. But I've also seen that optimism works. It's true today. If you're a pessimist, you think, it's going to get worse. The economy's going to get worse and everything about it. But if you're an optimist, maybe a person of hope, you begin to look at, what is good about this? I began to look at all the good. I am not a naive individual by any stretch. I know there's tough stuff, hard things. I don't agree with all the stuff going on. I got my own opinions about all of the different things. But I also tend to want to look and say, God, what are some of the good things? Well, there's some strange good things. I went to the dump the other day. I sat in line for over an hour. You know what that tells me? There must be some of the most incredible homes getting in order. Why? Because I sat there for over an hour waiting to just dump off some garbage. It's an upside. Everyone's getting their house in order. I ordered some bark dust the other day. The guy came in. I said, hey, are you guys busy? And he goes, man, we cannot keep bark dust in stock. And I thought, hey, you know what? We are going to have the prettiest flowers and flower beds. I bet if I went over to your houses are glorious because people have time. I think that's an upside. I began to look for all the things that are positive. Yeah, some tough stuff. But the reality is, more than a few times, I've tried to figure out what day is it. I'm fairly scheduled. In fact, I'm slightly obsessive with my schedule. And I've had times where I'm like, what day is this? You say, is that a good thing? It is. For people who are kind of obsessive with your schedule, it's kind of good to get out of that. Take your watch off and kind of chill out. I think that's a good thing. Another thing, in your isolation, I think some people have grown in their appreciation for hugs, for high fives. In fact, I just saw somebody, and I went up to them, and it's like, one of these days I'm going to give you a hug. And they smiled. People are starting to really appreciate the fact that, you know what, it's hard to be isolated. And they're yearning for the day that we can hug each other and say hi and even give a handshake. I understand there's some of the medical personnel saying, we should never handshake again in their lives. Well, that's not going to happen with me. One of these days we'll start doing it again, but people are growing in their appreciation. A couple of other things. Adversity. There's a lot of adversity. But you know what happens in adversity? Some people crumble under it. But other people in adversity, it's an opportunity to shed complacency. I've seen a lot of people grow. I've seen a lot of creativity. I've seen a lot in the medical industry, a lot in the scientific world, do some phenomenal things. So the reality is, if you're a pessimist, it's going to always get worse. Yep, the Baltimore Orioles thought that they had it the worst. No one showed up. Well, it got worse. We don't even have baseball. But if you're an optimist, you can always see the upside. There's good things that are happening. Look for them. God will help you see them. People of faith see the good things that God is doing. Why? Because with Christ, the best is always yet to come. There's good things coming up this weekend. Pastor Jeff's going to be preaching again. We have another king. And, this king's one of my favorites. When I was looking at the preaching schedule, I honestly was like, 2 Chronicles chapter 17, Jehoshaphat. Oh, man. Letting Pastor Jeff preach this one, it's one of my gifts to him. One of the most incredible passages. He's going to knock it out of the park. It's kind of the backdrop for Psalm 46. Take a look at it. It's going to be incredible. You ever heard the concept of resting heart rate? Look at it. It is going to bless your heart. How you experience the peace of Christ. We need it. It's going to be good this weekend. A couple of other things coming up. Mother's Day. Yeah, we have a gift for moms. It's going to be coming real soon. We'll tell you more about it. Every mom, we've been thinking about you. I know we can't give it to you in person. Well, actually, we are going to give this one to you in person. That'll whet your appetite. In fact, this gift will whet your appetite. Think about that one. We have something for you. Moms, can't wait. Dads, I think we're thinking about you already, too. Do you think we'll get together by then? Who knows? We're still thinking about you. I love you. I miss you. Can't wait to see you soon. God bless you.